on regular sites, like music sites, or
Yeah, just in general.
if you go to Spotify or Pandora or anything like that?
Or are you looking so you can play it?
No, so you can play it. Are you playing anything off your phone?
So if he wants to do
I
that.
don't think I have anything on my phone. This phone's broken.
I was gonna say. So
I have. If you go to Pandora or Spotify, they'll play.
I was gonna say, so whatever way works, I'm fine with.
You don't have any music on Facebook, right?
There would be at some spots, but
You don't have like a page just for audios?
You know what I could do? There is one on.
Or YouTube, maybe?
Oh, YouTube. Yeah, tons of stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
Just let me see here.
You're live right now.
Ooh, there's a new
All right, we're live.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
All right, everybody, welcome to Hamilton Radio right here. I mean, the roundtable on HamiltonRadio.net. I was about to switch them both. I was about to say Hamilton Radio on roundtable.net. I wish I had my own website, but nobody gives a shit that much. But anyway, I am your host, John Brecco, and with me here today is my guest, Jordan White. How you doing, my man? Are you good?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Chilling, man, chilling. But I want to get into how I met you before, I get into any of the music or any stuff like that.
We met at that gay bar, didn't we?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, just kidding.
I was gonna say, if DJ Danny's Christmas show is the closest thing we could find to a gay bar, then that's apparently what your show resembles—a gay bar. That's the first thing he thought of.
It was a little flamboyant, but that's fine.
Just a tad. I was gonna say, Gino was mentioning you earlier. He said you were looking all depressed there and everything.
Today?
No, when you were at the Christmas party.
Oh, I was sick. I was so sick that day.
I was gonna say, I think you.
I had a major.
I think you did tell me that.
You sound like you have a cold. No?
I'm actually getting over one.
Yep. See, I knew it.
Yeah,
it's everybody's getting it because it's rain.
I was gonna say, I'm in the same boat as you, bro.
No, I was so sick that day I almost didn't even come because I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, but then I guess you just finally came and managed.
Yeah, I just took a ton of Dayquil and heroin and got here.
I was gonna say he managed off of Dayquil, got nice and high on your show. I mean, you sounded good. You seemed like everything was okay. You just looked a little bit pissed off.
I was just sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I was gonna say you actually came on here once before. We had you on with a couple friends of mine. If anybody who's been following the roundtable knows that when I first started off the show, I did a bunch of different topics before I had guests on. I warmed up to that a little bit. So when I had him on, it was actually a surprise. I think you were on Danny's show that time as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we just had.
Yeah, I just stayed that day. I think
Yeah.
you guys said to stay.
I was gonna say, and we were just bullshitting back and forth here about Zodiac. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was gonna say we had a fun different time. I wanted to have you back on again. So, with that being said. I was going to say, tell me about your music career, man. I've heard you a couple times singing over here. Even when you were sick, you sounded pretty good. So.
I've just been playing out for, 8 years or so, around that. And that's all I pretty much do. I just play music.
I get you.
That's kind of a good thing and a bad thing because I have no life.
Happens.
Because not many places book, acoustic acts on Monday and Tuesdays.
Okay.
So it's always Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I am playing, which I am this weekend.
Yeah.
Nowhere really around here, but a lot closer to where I'm from. So I can't do anything with anyone ever. And the times I can do stuff like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nobody wants to go out because they have jobs like normal people. So I'm the weirdo. So of course that's what I got to do. So.
Happens, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do to make it work, man. Didn't you go on Ellen DeGeneres not too long ago? Or?
The Tonight Show, but that was in 2012.
Oh, okay.
The 10 show or whatever, and there was a lot of TV shows, probably like a dozen. I don't, it was just most of them were just me playing the song. Some had small interviews.
I was gonna say the reason why I ask is because I remember hearing about you last time I saw you. And somebody was saying something about Ellen DeGeneres. So.
Yeah, we were supposed to. The guy, the last minute, changed his mind. The program director, he was like, "I'm gonna hold off on you for now," but.
Sheesh.
My mic just cut out. It's back now. Yeah, he
Never
was
a
like,
dull moment.
he was like, yeah, he was like, the guy was like, oh, I'm gonna hold off for you for now. Anything changes, I'll let you know. And I still have the email, and I printed it out. So I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong.
Whatever. I mean, were you like in contact with him the whole time, or?
At that point, I think I had a publicist that was doing most of that, and I was just kind of like in the background.
Okay.
A lot of those shows at that level, very rarely does the artist or the musician or whatever you want to call me contact them directly. It's usually they contact the publicist, or the publicist has a a campaign to get them on there.
Yeah. No,
Unless they're like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan shows up, they'll make the whole show about him. Anytime, anywhere he goes.
Think about that.
So he's got the do whatever the F I want card. Basically.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
All right, so I was gonna say, give me a little bit of background about how you started like getting into music.
It was the only thing I could do, really. I sucked at everything else. I can't play sports. Well, I can actually. I used to box, and I could hit a baseball, but I suck at everything else. Can't run fast, can't jump, can't play football. I'm too small. Can't do any of that stuff. So it was just this natural thing I gravitated toward. Playing the piano when I was like in 3rd grade, and then taking lessons with guitar later on.
Okay.
So it was almost like process of elimination, in a way.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I'm a semi-intelligent guy. I have a bunch of, I have a master's degree, but I don't really do anything with it. So music has always been like the thing that's what I've been doing. So.
I was gonna say, I never thought talking a bunch of shit would get me anywhere, and then I went to college and actually found something. So sometimes it takes you a while. Sometimes it's process of elimination. So I get where you're coming from, bro.
Yep.
But why don't you take me back to like the beginning of like your music career, though?
Beginning was really playing open mic nights. Anywhere I could play. I'd play at family functions, at family reunions, at my cousin's baptism. Anywhere anybody would, there'd be a crowd.
Anyone's gonna listen.
Right.
Really.
I used to sit on my front step in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, where I grew up. In the summer, sit on my front porch. No one's around. It was the middle of nowhere, and I would just go through like 20 songs and sing and play them all. Not plugged in or anything. And now the thought of me doing that is horrifying, because I'd be dreadful, because I do that all 4 or 5 times a week. It's just funny how your priorities change. It was like now it's more of a job. Yeah. So it'd almost be like work going to teaching, pretending. If you wanted to be a teacher, it'd be like teaching an empty bedroom, like for fun.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just snowballed from there. Everybody was like, I think you got something. I kind of came from a musical family, sort of.
Yeah.
My dad was played guitar and kind of was in like a doo-wop band when he was a kid, and he grew up in like the streets in like New York, kind of Bayonne. Not on the streets, he had a house, but
I was gonna say that's not even New York, Bayonne, man.
Yeah, close. I mean, you could see the
it's
trades.
close enough.
You used to be able to see the trade centers from my grandmother's attic, but not anymore.
Oh Jesus.
But it just started from there, and I just kept playing open mics, and finally I got to some place where they said, "Hey, the owner heard you. Would you like to actually come back on a Saturday instead of a Sunday afternoon and actually play a show and get paid?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, I'd love to." And of course, I thought it was the biggest deal in the world. I worried about it for like a month.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I just all worried and thinking like everyone was going to show up, and people came and stuff, but it wasn't like anything near I thought. And I was very, my musical side was very immature. Then I was forcing my vocal. I was doing this thing with my nose, which I learned was improper.
Oh yeah.
I was forcing air out too much, which a lot of singers do today when they're young, and they learn to scale back on that. It's a technical thing with singing.
I was gonna say because I used to do madrigal in high school. They always used to mention like make sure like everything's through your mouth. Don't let anything go through your nose.
Mm-hmm. Even the mic placement.
I never figured out exactly why they do that. So can you tell me why?
Well, when you're young and you're ambitious and you think you sing fairly well, and people tell you sing well, you force every note because you want to sound good. Like you want to do the Christina Aguilera thing, like all that stuff, instead of just being like singing like yourself. Like Bob Dylan did that early on in his career, where it was like that kind of sound, but then he kind of calmed down. Another good example is
I'm Squidward.
it was a great example of that too, a more contemporary. The singer from the band Live. Do you remember Live, the band?
I think so.
He had the first album. They had a very high He had a very high pitched like pushing air sound, and then he relaxed his voice on the next album. It became a huge hit. It was called Throwing Copper. Came out in the
Okay.
mid '90s.
I get
I know
you.
it's a little early for you, but it was a really big album. Had like lightning crashes on it. That song.
Yeah.
It sold like 20 million copies or something ridiculous.
I was gonna say, so it started basically like open mic nights for you, and then basically went to you booking like, I don't know if it's like weekly or monthly things, but
Well, it was a real slow process because basically, if you gave me everything I have now, all in one day back then, I'd be running around the room, screaming "hip hip hooray," but it's been such a slow process, so many slow things. But that's how it goes a lot of time, unless somebody comes in and scoops you up and puts you on TV, which is
Yeah.
rare, but it happens.
was gonna
Usually
say,
for
yeah.
16-year-old girls like Britney Spears and stuff like that. That's how they kind of got their
that's really how that happened.
yeah, like Avril Lavigne. There's somebody that's called the hand of God thing in this business. It's when everybody expects the hand of God to come in and pull them to the top, which is very
Which is a
rare.
rare thing
yeah,
to
you
happen.
have to climb your way up there. So it was a very slow process. It would be going from having 2 shows a month at most, being in school, to having now I have 20. 18, something like that a
I was
month.
gonna say, you said you got a gig from Thursday to Sunday every week.
Pretty
which,
much, yeah.
Still, when you're playing something 4 days out of the week, and I don't know if you're getting paid or not doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're getting paid for 4 gigs a week, regardless of how much, I think you're doing all right for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. I got a couple cars and a decent house, but nothing crazy.
Hey, if you could make a living off it, I certainly wouldn't be.
Yeah,
complaining.
it's one thing. There's so many different levels in this type of business where there's, the people that play in the backyards on the weekends, and there's the open mic guys, which I was for a while, and there's the people that just want to stay there, and that's fine. I always had the aspiration to keep moving and make it a living, which I'm doing now. However, I'm still not at the level that I really want to be at. I still want to be at a national tour level where you're gone for 6 months, because I really love traveling.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I was gonna say, like, what are some of like the things that you see for yourself, like while you're on tour?
The highways and the roads all start to look the same a lot of the time. Besides a few examples, like if you're in the mountains and in the desert or whatever. But every town has like the certain gas station that's the most popular one. Like we have Wawa's around here.
Wawa is a beautiful thing.
Yep. And then you go west, it's Sheetz, and then you go further west, it's I can't remember, it's something Harry's or Spotty's or something.
I don't even know what Harry's or Spotty's is. I know what Sheetz is. I've never been there, though.
Oh, Sheetz is awesome. In my opinion, Sheetz is better than Wawa. It just you have to get used to it.
I was gonna say, I've heard some good shit about Sheetz, but I've never been over there.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, we got Quick Check over here too, so I'm still glad we got options.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. There's always, every town has something like that that you've never heard of, that I've never heard of, at least once you're there, that has that, like one. There's like 7 of them all right in one area.
Last time I was in Florida, I saw a Wawa that they were building, though. My mind was blown.
Yep, I heard that.
I just want to say that.
And in DC, I heard they have one too now.
DC now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. It's real. All right, but why don't we get into some of the songs that you got on YouTube? Gino, is anything pulled up?
I have here. You hear me?
What we got, Gino?
Hello, you can hear me now.
Yeah.
I have of course, all your songs on YouTube. So whatever one.
Anyone's from the High Road record. You see anyone's? If you just search, like there's High Road 1226.
No, I got it right here.
Okay, anyone's from the High Road. It's like a picture of me like praying, almost looks like.
Yep.
Those are the newest ones. That's the ones I would play if you choose to.
Yeah, you tell us what song you want.
Or the 4 songs album is good too, but anything else is demos. So as long as it's 4 songs, the album, or High Road, those are the ones you'd want.
Okay.
Pick a song.
High Road, the actual song, the
title song.
The title song of the album.
Okay, we'll do
Ain't
that
a
one.
bad place to start. All right, High Road from Jordan White, right here on Hamilton Radio.
took the highway, but I took the high road, and you left me nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go. When I push my fist right through that glass, and you know it doesn't matter when your future, it all becomes your past. And I tried so hard not to give on in, but you gave on me, and I know I just can't lose, but I still can't win. 'Cause you took the highway, and I took the high road. You left me nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go. So stay awake for me this time, 'cause I feel you falling oh so fast. Memories hang me up, and I'm frozen in the past. Write yourself a letter just to tell yourself goodbye, 'cause all that's left of me is empty circles of my eyes. 'Cause you took the highway, but I took the high road. You left me nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go. Oh, I had nowhere left to go. Nowhere left to go. I had nowhere left to go.
You first. All right, that was The High Road right here by Jordan White on Hamilton Radio. And tell me, man, what was the inspiration for that song?
Well, my mom thought it was a drug reference, and it's totally not. I wrote this thing in my head. There was this girl that, well, to be honest, she dumped me. And so she was really nasty to me and did all these terrible things. And, you know, I could have done things back. But
No beats now!
yeah, right. But I could have done things back, and I had, you know, she wouldn't let me see my own dogs. I mean, I had two chihuahuas, and we got a, you know, that kind of thing. We got dogs together. We were together for 3 years, and she won't let me see them. And to this day, I've not seen them one time. So I had legal proof that I purchased these dogs. You know, I paid for them, and I had proof. And I could have gone after her and said, "Look, I'm going to sue you unless you let me see these dogs." But then in the end, I was like, "All right, you know, I'll take the advice of Paul McCartney and let it be." And I'll take the high road, and then she took the highway. That's
I was gonna say, if it wasn't for the if it wasn't for anything else, I would have taken the high road too. But the dogs, man.
Yeah, man, I miss those little.
I was gonna
little
say
guys.
you're a better person than me for not.
Oh, I was really mad. I mean,
kind of
she was
action.
like, well, you can make arrangements just to see them for an afternoon. Okay, that they would come. She never answers the phone. You know, that kind of stuff. And I never saw them. I've not seen them in 5 years.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yep, I know. And she seemingly thinks it's funny and uses them against me like as a weapon.
She still does that?
Yep. Well, I haven't talked to her in years, but I'm sure.
Well, when she was doing it.
Yeah, she used them as a weapon, like, you know, to get back at me for perceived ill wrongdoings, whatever.
I don't understand, man.
Yep.
But you were telling me some interesting things about the song. You said one of J-Lo's producers helped you with it.
Yeah, the whole album actually, all 6 songs were a producer for Jennifer Lopez.
Sounds like me.
Why? His name is Jim Anazito. That's his name. Jim Anazito, Italian guy out in Long Island, based in New York. But we did it in his studio that he built
Nice.
a couple years ago in the winter when we had that blizzard. We were stuck in like the basement fooling around with sounds, and we had a blizzard. So
I'm gonna say that's how inspiration usually happens.
yep. Yep.
That's what I've noticed anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean I sing things into the phone. You know, this broken ass phone. Sing little snippets in and try to make it a song later.
Happens. All right, but anyway, why don't we get into another song off that album? Then we can get into what was the other album you were telling us about?
The earlier one, it was called Four Songs.
Four
that
Songs.
was a self-produced one. This one was with a record company.
All right, so we'll hear one more from this and then a couple from that. What do you think, man?
Okay.
Good idea?
Let's see. I'd say probably after that one, the next one I would probably do is called Random Hearts on there. It should be on High Road Random Hearts.
I was gonna say we'll go to that, but
It's-
we got to pick a song for this one first.
What's that? Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, it's just called Random Hearts. Just as long as you search my name.
Random Hearts.
Okay. It's very, very different from that first song. It's all piano and it's a very sad song.
I was gonna say before we play it, what's it about?
I wrote it on New Year's Eve a couple years ago. I really don't know. It's kind of about how two lives can spin together, and if they were spinning in the first place, they'll spin apart, sort of.
Okay.
Kind of like how random everything is, and how me not going to some place, I never would have met that girl, about the one with the dogs, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing, and how everything's so random. A meteor could strike us right now, but not so much like that, but just at the randomness of life, and
Yeah, you think about like one time and think about how it could have like
right.
changed your life so drastically.
right, how one, the butterfly effect, butterfly flaps wings in Japan, you get rain in New York instead of sunshine,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And there's even talks about a snowstorm, the guy does in a song, just little things, random stuff, and
You
how
know
they
what?
all let up.
I can relate to that actually, because you just made me think of like one certain event right now. But anyway, let's go to Random Hearts by Jordan White right here on Hamilton Radio.
Tell me, what am I to do? Where am I to go? Your random heart, it was the only heart I know. See the pain in me, but I had to watch you go. A random heart lost and lovely long, long ago. 'Cause I remember when we'd fly, I remember where we'd go. Our random hearts here tied together with a bow. I know I'm wrong for you, yes, but now I know. But I'm still haunted by your shadows in the snow. And you held me all together on the darkest nights we know. Random hearts tied together with a bow. 'Cause I remember what you said, I remember what you do. Random hearts falling all apart and come unglued. So let's drink a bit to everything we know. Your random heartbeat on for me to go. I know I'm wrong for you, there's nothing I can do. I remember when we'd fly, I remember what you do. With our random hearts together are the only thing we knew. You held me all together on the darkest nights we know. Random hearts tied together with a bow. I know I'm wrong for you. It seems there's nothing I can do. Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
That was Random Hearts by Jordan White right here on HamiltonRadio.net. And one more time.
Thank you. I wrote that in like an hour.
Did you really?
Yep, New Year's Eve, I remember. Sitting by myself, playing the piano. I started playing Auld Lang Syne or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute, I think there's another melody in here that I could kind of
Yeah.
pull from. And
Gotcha.
I got that.
I was gonna say, was that like a drunk moment or some shit?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I played a show for like 500 people at this big hall earlier, and then it's the thing is, I still think it's weird. It's a weird thing to go out in front of so many people and then go home alone. It still is a very strange thing.
Yeah.
Even or to go back to your hotel room alone, you know, wherever you are. And I was by myself, and I was like, well, I have my piano with me. Let's see what I could come up with. And I went fishing. I call it, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of go out there and play stuff, see if you get something. I just started humming along.
I was gonna say, it feels weird going home once you're hanging out with like a big group.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I
imagine
get
if
what
that
you
was
mean.
every night. Like you go to a party, and like you don't know anyone really, except maybe the people who asked you to come, and
Yeah.
and then you're like sort of the center of attention for a while. Not that everywhere I go I am. You know, if I played a bar, it's not. You know.
I mean, if you're playing
But-
at a bar, people are listening. To
Yeah,
you, but
and then you go home alone, and there's even a song I don't have recorded yet that I wrote about that feeling when you always look over at the seat next to you, and you're always like, why? I'm always like, why is this seat always empty? I'm like, is it like something I'm doing? I don't know.
yeah, no, I hear you. All right, but you said you had a self-produced album. It was called 4 Songs, right?
Yeah, that was the first one before High Road, the album. This was self-produced, and it actually sold well better than that one because we did a lot of promotion. At least I did, and advertisements and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, I guess it wasn't like as promoted heavy. I guess it wasn't as promotion
with
heavy as
what-
the other one.
Right, and the label's gonna get mad at me if they're listening. But when I say this, but for High Road, they spent so much money on the recording process and the mixing, the engineering, and they spent nothing on advertising. I mean, I'm talking like $60,000 to record this album, and not a dime to promote
Went
it.
to advertising.
Right, and they know that I feel that way, and I've told them that. I said we should at least done it. You know, this you know, a guy that wins a Grammy, this Jim Anazito, he's
Yeah.
expensive, so you know it's going to be that. But what I told them is that people listening don't care who produced it; they care if they like the song or not. They don't care if your uncle produced it. If they like the song, they like the song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to hurt to have his name attached. But the earlier one, you know, I did it for like $2,000. I think we recorded for the 4 Songs album, and then I spent more than that promoting it. And it, you know, the first song in the album got in the top 500 on the Billboard, which isn't amazing. I mean, for Ricky Martin or something, that would be a joke.
Hey, I mean, it's there.
But it was like 447 for like a week.
Hey, man, it's there, so
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, it was on, you know, all the radio. I used to hear it on the radio station from time to time, but mostly in this area because people knew me. So the disc jockeys would have me in and stuff like that. That
Yeah,
was
that makes sense.
that's the first song on that album called Maybe Amy, if they're listening. I don't know if they are.
Doesn't matter. But I get where you're coming from with like the promotion and stuff, because you spend all that time
Yep.
promoting it,
Yep, and
and nothing goes into
Right.
like advertising. For
even
it.
right, I said to them, even John Mayer, you know, he sells millions. He even has full page ads in the Rolling Stone about his upcoming album. We didn't even take one ad out anywhere, or they didn't. Pangea, nothing.
I was gonna say, I've maybe seen like one person get away with that, and that was like Beyonce with the surprise
Oh yeah,
album.
right. She can do that.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say, and the only reason why I even knew about that is because I was doing a project for a class at college.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I even knew.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think she's, you know, a great performer.
No, definitely.
You know, when she has that card, the I could do whatever the F I want card, because
Yeah.
she's Beyonce and she's got that that fan base, and when you don't have that fan base, you have to let people know the music is out there.
So you got to get that fan base first.
Right, and you can't just put an album out these days, like, because there's so many. Anybody can make one in their basement, and it gets approved on Spotify. There you go, another one.
That's fair. All right, so is the next one you want to get into maybe, Amy?
Yeah, that's probably the one I would play because that's the happiest of them.
Okay. So
that's the one that most people remember.
Well, that's the first one he mentioned, so I mean we can go with that.
Yeah, that's the one Dave likes the most. Dave and Ivy.
Dave likes the most.
Yeah, at least out of that album.
Okay. I was gonna say let him find
Should be
it.
4 songs, maybe Amy or Jordan White, maybe. Yep, it'll have a different cover. It'll have a white cover with me and a guitar.
All right, you got it, Gino? All right, maybe Amy right here on HamiltonRadio.net. Jordan White.
You don't know me just a little from your TV. Listen to this little ditty and maybe you'll see I'm only happy at the beach when the skies are blue. When there's gray clouds, you may need to pull me through. Pull me through. Smell the inside of brand new books. We just don't care how stupid it looks. And this could be a funny story while your path crossed mine. We're jumping in quarries with a no trespassing sign. No one pays and no mind. So maybe, Amy, you could pour me over your red wine. You could call me up anytime. There's people light you on fire just to watch you burn. Ain't no rhyme or reason about it. You just gotta turn, head back down to the river you come from, where there's water around. And you could meet me in some bar where nobody goes. Oh, Amy, I don't really know. I just don't know. So maybe, Amy, you could pour me over your red wine. You could call me up anytime. Sincerity of this feeling, it's the only reason I found to cut you from the crowd when I'm down kneeling as the only diamond that shines in this town. Only one around. So maybe, Amy, you could pour me over your red wine. You could call me up anytime. Pour me, 'cause Amy, got all this time without somebody like you. Without somebody like you. Without somebody like you.
It was Maybe Amy, not Gold Digger by Kanye West. And anyway, that was Maybe Amy on HamiltonRadio.net from Jordan White. But yeah, I think you heard what that was kind of about. A girl named Amy who wanted a rich guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we literally went live at Gold Digger by Kanye West. I didn't even get that part out before we managed to make it on air. But, oh well, too bad. Now we know what's going on with Amy. So you were telling me what your favorite song was. You said it was 1226.
Yeah, I think so. That's on the High Road album, or Bloodshot, the second track on this album. 4 songs. It's tough. It depends on the day or my mood.
Okay, so you said it's a tie between those two.
Yeah,
right?
My mood now, it's a Bloodshot,
Okay.
only because it's because of what we just listened to. It's so different from the other 4 songs, especially that one.
I was gonna say, obviously you got 4 songs on the other one. It's called the 4 songs.
Yeah, I just
So that would make sense.
Yep, and they're all 4 songs that are completely different from the other. That's what I try
Okay.
to do with it.
I
At
hear
least.
you. So we got 1226 right now, and then we could go into one more from. Well, we could do the 4 songs, and then the last one will be Bloodshot. But why don't we go into the 1226 for the next one? Because I feel like the topic, from what you were telling me, kind of transitioned to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just how people are fucked up in the head when we started the one before that with a gold digger.
Yeah, it's about. I have this theory that anyone who was born on 12/24, 12/26, if they're celebrate Christmas, in the Western world have an issue because
Fuck Kwanzaa.
their birthday is glossed over by Christmas, and I think that as a kid they see everyone else, was born in May. I was born in May. People born in June, August, and they don't get that same, attention because people
Yeah.
are tired out. From Christmas. Christmas is like a month-long thing,
Yeah.
and this kid's birthday is in the middle of it, and it's not their fault, but I think it psychologically can't not do some kind of harm.
You'll just get your presents together. It's fine.
Yeah,
You're
that's
good-
what that's
you're
what
good,
the girl that I knew that was born on 12/26 that inspired the song. She said that's what they would do. They would just give her all her presents on the 25th, and sometimes she realized she didn't get any more than her brothers or sisters. So,
I was gonna say
that's
that-
the thing. It screws up.
I was gonna say that is fair, other than that she didn't get more
Right.
part. To be honest,
Yeah, and didn't get her own party.
yeah,
that kind of-
happens. But anyway, we got 1226 up, Gino, or all right. So let's hear it. 1226 right here on HamiltonRadio.net.
He was born the day after Christmas, on a day that did not forgive. Because she tells me again how she forgets how to live. She forgets how to live. Don't you have any more faith in Jesus? 'Cause his power to the same sign. 'Cause she'll get lost in him or get lost in you almost every time. Her time is bleeding me like stained glass. Hours falling, they slide on by. Are you stuck in the past? Well, it's happened at last. You got stuck in the past. But she forgets how to live. Well, she slips in the ship. And she forgets how to live. Tells me just to forgive, that it's time to forgive. But she forgets how to live. Well, she slips in the ship. And she forgets how to live. Tells me just to forgive, that it's time to forgive. She was born the day after Christmas, long before the new life of spring. And I'm lost in the eyes of a beautiful girl with a life to begin. She was born the day after Christmas, on a day that did not forgive. Because she tells me again how she forgets how to live. She forgot how to live.
That could be a Christmas track. Why not?
Thanks.
Hamilton.
I guess it kind of, sort of is a little bit.
Hamilton Radio approved for Christmas season, even though she won't be getting any extra presents. 1226 right here on HamiltonRadio.net. All right, so why don't we go into the 4 songs a little bit? We could play a couple more from there, and we'll finish it off with Bloodshot. Sound good?
Yeah, man.
All right, so what are the other 2? Tell me about those before we get those up.
Let's see. We did Amy already. Bloodshot last. The other 2 are, one is called No Promises, and that has been, believe it or not, the second most favorite of most people. I like it, and then there's another one that I probably like the least called Before I Go Out. Although it's still okay, just didn't come out as I exactly hoped it would. It came out a little bit too happy, and I want it to be a little bit more mellow, I think.
Fuck happiness. It's overrated.
Yeah, I brought the song into the studio, and I played it acoustically and had the sound I wanted, and then we brought in other people, and they kind of added their own stuff to it, which is fine, but I wasn't there to, like, kind of say, we got to pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
The song gets away from me if you listen to it. So I would say probably play No Promises, or that's another piano one.
No Promises?
Yeah, that's the 4th track, and
So,
that's the one most, a lot of people come to me and say they like, and, ask me to play and stuff.
all right, so we'll play that first, and then we'll play Before I Go Out, and then we'll come back and finish it off with No Promises.
Almost. Bloodshot, right?
Bloodshot.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Last night I whispered to myself that the true enemy comes from within. 'Cause I took another chance for your fire, and I think that I've burned myself again. Somewhere Philadelphia, 2003. All you need was oxygen and a little bit of me. Flashback Jersey Shore in 2008. I'm running in the sand, but you're running kinda late. No promises, yeah, no promises at all. I'm waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for that call. No promises, yeah, no promises at all. You gave me no promises and you kept them all. Forget all that, I just remembered one. The day you said you fell with me, the day without the sun. I'd keep this feeling checked if I just knew what you'd say. To keep you moving on, to keep you on your way. With no promises, yeah, no promises at all. I'm waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for your call. There's no promises, yeah, no promises at all. You gave me no promises and you kept them all. Driving through this city now, there's 3 words that you once said. They picked me up, they gave me something to get out of my own head. Something about the thunder way it comes up fast. The way I'd wanna hide with you and wait for it to pass. No promises, yeah, no promises at all. I'm waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for your call. There's no promises, yeah, skies explode above me as I pulled into my lane. Knew that you were the only one to drown me in your rain. Yes, you were the only one to drown me in your rain. 'Cause after all, you gave me no promises, and you kept them all. You kept them all.
I was about to say we shouldn't be live. That messed you up, didn't it?
Thorns and rushes of rose and
what I usually do?
sorrow. Yesterday got taken out by tomorrow, and I promise tell you something. If you tell the sun not to rise, if you keep my secret, I'll keep your lies. We're in a little bit of trouble for the little things we need. When all the rainy days in the shadow bleed with no separate peace, the branches hang too low. There's somebody caught in the catch you left below. But if the sun it don't need me and the shadows just don't please me, would you let me come over again? Would you let me come over again? Gets darker by the mile. Every glance that you pull down, lean my head against the wheel, lean against the sound, and the pavement hits me hard. All the concrete steps. If my blood was in your veins, tell me where it went. But if the sun it don't need me and the shadows just don't please me, would you let me come over again? Would you let me come over again? But if the sun it don't need me and the shadows just don't please me, could you let me come over again? Would you let me come over again? When I needed someone, I knew I'd go without. Like the light that burns its brightest just before it goes out. But if the sun it don't need me and the shadows just don't please me, would you let me come over again? Would you let me come over again? Would you let me come over again?
All right, that was No Promises, and then Before I Go Out by Jordan White on Hamilton Radio. Now, before we go out, we've got one more song for you guys, but before I talk about that, what are some things you got from the future, things we can expect from you, man?
Lots of live shows all over the place every weekend. If you go to jordanwhitemusic.com, they'll be listed there if you go to live shows or tour or whatever. And hopefully with this, with Pangea Records, we're going to do another 10-song album, probably in the summer, probably in Philadelphia area.
Okay.
I'm hoping, with this time, an emphasis on promoting as well as the
Definitely.
recording, you know.
I'm gonna say we don't want anything happening like the last album, brother.
Yeah, it's they. No, I don't know why they did that.
It happens.
They're
bro.
gonna see this, and I'm gonna get
Ah.
it's like 10 phone
Who
calls.
cares?
But she knows. Her name's Kelly. She knows. Kelly and Nick are the heads of that label. They know
Okay.
about this. So
All right, fair enough. But let's get into our final song, Bloodshot. Why don't we say what it's about first?
it's a brutal electric song, and that's what I wanted it to be. It's one of the first times the song came out in my head exactly how I wanted on
Yeah.
on a recording. And it's about a guy who's just a total mess. A guy who goes, about bad behavior. A guy who goes to a bar to either meet someone or avoid someone, and he's always like, go talk to the girl. One more drink. Give me another drink. I'm gonna go talk to the girl. Or give me another drink, and then I'm gonna go fight that guy. Or
And then it
that
just
type of
keeps
person.
going.
Yeah, it's about this character that's just a complete mess and just kind of is this open wound of a person. And it's always one more drink. That's like the joke. What, man? If I had had one more shot, I would have beat the crap out of that guy. And they never would do it in a million years. Nor would they talk to the girl that everybody's staring at because he's afraid. So it's really just about like denial and kind of bearing that denial and alcoholism, I guess, in a way.
I get you. All right, so actually, I do want to mention one thing before we go off air. You know what I actually really like about you? I like how when you got a song and it gets played, you think of like a different way to envision it in your head. So I just wanted to say I really like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
But anyway, let's go to Bloodshot right here on HamiltonRadio.net. Jordan White.
$200 jeans, you can't afford a gas
That was Bloodshot by Jordan White right here on HamiltonRadio.net. And what are some of the other songs that you have recording? Can you tell us anything about it, or
On the other that I've recorded on the other albums?
that you no that
or
you're,
that or
like,
that I'm currently.
that you're in the process?
Yeah, I have one called. I think I'm gonna call it On the Way Home, and I think it's about what I was talking about before. How you go. It's weird to go out in front of so many people and go home alone. That's one, and then I have one called. Let me put it this way: I have two brothers. Both of them have children. One's married. And the song is about. And I have nothing. I literally have nothing. The song's about people always ask me, "What about you? Why are you? Where's your family? Where's your this? Where's your that?" I'm like, nobody wants me. I don't know, and I don't blame them. It's called.
Overrated.
I'm thinking. I'm not sure what's gonna call it, but it's a very sad song, and it starts with goes, "My brother's got a beautiful life. He's got a beautiful wife, and right as the rain, they go off into the night," stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the guy saying, but they say you. What about you? When are you coming through? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have stuff like that, and of course some other ideas too floating around. All kinds of stuff. There's always something.
Yeah. It's always something you can get an idea from. But anyway, appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for
you,
having me
so
on, man.
much. And we will be back here next week, same time, same back channel. This has been John Brecco here with the Roundtable on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. We'll see you next